Welcome back to Kodak Took My Money. I'm going on a road trip from the south of Sweden up to this beautiful archipelago north of Gothenburg and documenting the whole trip on film. We started our road trip in the coastal town of Ystad. And a quick disclaimer, I don't speak Swedish and I'm probably not pronouncing any of the place names correctly. Before starting the 4-hour drive north, we decided to stretch our legs and take some shots of these wonderful wooden Swedish houses. So I loaded up the Canon AE1 with a roll of Portra 160. One of my goals for this road trip was to treat it as a bit of a spring clean and use up all of the rolls of film that were either expired or coming close to expiry. Here I have a full roll of Portra 160 that expires this month. In the Ricoh GR1S, I have half a roll of Kodak Gold 200. And if we open up boot, the Mamiya 645, half a roll of Kodak Gold in 120. In my other Canon AE1, I actually have a roll of Fuji Velvia. We set off and it wasn't too long before I had the urge to check the listings of a local camera auction. Up for grabs was the Canon 11, which is basically the same as the Canon Prima Mini. What's special about this one is that it was made for the 1994 USA World Cup. So I put my bid in and there's less than a minute to go. There's no indication as to whether the camera is working, but it does come with the original very retro camera bag. Auction's ending. Let's see if anyone's going to snipe me right at the end. No, sold. That's a good start.
Well done.
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'll be even happier if it actually works. But otherwise it's a expensive paperweight. We approached the city of Gothenburg just as the sun was setting, and I did fall asleep that night knowing that I would be spending the next few days surrounded by those who I cherish the most. My Fuji GFX50R and my Mamiya 645 Pro. But seriously though, the accommodation was fantastic, and I wanted to take a few photos for memories, and this is where the GFX came in handy. I don't use this camera anywhere near as often as I should, with the exception of digitizing negatives. The last shot was taken on the Canon AE1 with Kodak Portra 160. One of the recommendations from our Airbnb host was a local sourdough bakery, and it did not disappoint. Its friendly staff and excellent baked goods and coffee made for a really wonderful breakfast. After breakfast, the wind started picking up, but I wasn't going to miss an opportunity to take photos of a tennis court on a rocky island. Even with the strong breeze, it didn't detract from the peace and tranquility of the area, as there was hardly a single other person around. I can't really explain why, but I really liked this shot. I love the colours, and maybe they're too saturated for some people's taste, but it really works for me. One of the benefits of an overcast day is that it really makes any colour you have in your scene pop, just like these red roof tiles do against a muted, cool background. you ever find yourself in Sweden, you have to allow some time to check out the supermarkets. Need a life jacket? Here you'll find at least 6 colours. You need a lifelike imitation fish? 15 choices. Oh, sweet tooth, did I hear you say? Well, in Sweden, you'll find about 329 different types of assorted candy. The weather wasn't looking too good for the evening, but we decided to take one more walk up a viewpoint before returning to the cabin. We've got to a lookout point and it's pretty windy up here. Oh no. It's become a bit cloudy and also hazy. So I'm hoping that there'll be a better sunset tomorrow and I'll save the Fuji Velvia for that. But I wanted to try and do a panoramic on the Fuji GFX. I don't take panoramic shots that often, and certainly not often enough to justify owning an overpriced panoramic camera. But if anyone wants to donate an X-Pan to help keep the channel going, my gratitude will be eternal. Back in the accommodation, and I edited a video that I shot in the Canadian Rocky Mountains last year. So subscribe to the channel if you're interested to see how that turned out. It looked like the weather gods were actually on our side the following morning, and we awoke to the return of sunshine, for now. So we've just stopped for a little refreshment, and we're going to try this påskamust, which is a non-alcoholic Swedish Easter drink. This is a bit like a ginger beer or Dr. Pepper.
Do you like it?
Wouldn't buy it again. With that generous review out of the way, I was ready to take my first long exposure shot of the trip. That's really nice there. There's a guy here with loads of old Jaguars and Mercedes, which are really nice. Over there's some llama.
Yeah.
Or are they llama? Or
They're llama, I think. No, I think they're alpaca.
Alpaca.
One of those two. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Buick, maybe. Would it even be a Kodak Took My Money video if there wasn't at least one photo of a classic car? Few sounds were as calming and reassuring as a Mamiya 645 power winder devouring the last shot of the roll. We came across this antique market / flea market, and it seemed to sell pretty much anything. It's like the Harrods of junk. I literally got lost in this place, partly because I thought it would be funny to walk around wearing these children's prescription glasses. We made an impromptu ferry trip to an island just the other side of Marstrand. I think we need to keep a lookout for crocodile.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Not even joking. think that's what crocodilian sounds like. Crocodile, looks like a crocodile. The last day of the trip was upon us, and I was nowhere near close to finishing the 5 rolls of film that I brought with me. So a lot of pressure on the one last hike we had ahead of us before spending the evening at a spa. First up was the Mamiya 6x5 and Kodak Gold. So I'm going to try out this graduated filter. It's a hard grad, and it gives me 2 stops of ND on the top and it's clear at the bottom, and you can just rotate it. So I'm going to use it just to bring down the sky a little bit and see how it goes. As you can see, it didn't go too well. While taking this photo, Kiko actually noticed a man proposing to his girlfriend, so naturally I turned the camera around. I was just a little bit too late to capture the actual moment, but I did offer to make a portrait for the couple. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Pleasure. Yeah, shoot me an email and I'll get them sent over to you. Okay, so this looks really pretty ahead, but to get there, there's a high risk that white trainers get ruined. Your turn. Oh, you nearly made it.
Dude.
F11, quarter of a second on Portra 160. I really like this photo. If I could have done it again, I think I would have chosen a wider lens, just so that I could capture the tops of the trees as well as the foreground. We arrived at our hotel for the night, which is a really lovely spa that I could highly recommend, and if anyone wants to know the name of it, I'm very happy to share. But this video isn't really about spas, so it will otherwise remain anonymous. Naturally, the first thing to do when checking into a hotel after a long hike is to hit the overpriced minibar and reach for a can of liquid active recovery. Just got back from the sauna, and you know when you meet one of those people who are really nice and talkative and just want to chat about everything and don't give you an opportunity to politely leave the conversation. The one place you don't want to meet one of those people is in the sauna. Probably lost about 5 kilos in sweat, so that's something, I suppose. The last thing to do before making our way home was to stop off at the auction house to pick up the camera I won. Ta-da!
Oh, it's a nice pouch.
It's very retro, isn't it?
Yeah.
Canon 1994 World Cup. So just put a battery in it. Actually, I'll show it to you.
That's cool. I love the drawing.
Yeah, I love it. Let's put the battery in. So the lights come on. That's a good sign.
Ooh!
Fantastic. Powers up. It's
Even I would use this.
there's no film in this, but just have a look. The viewfinder is nice and clean. Flash works. Fantastic. I really appreciate you sticking around until the end of the video, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing a slice of Swedish life. So I think the next video coming up on Kodak Took My Money will be the Canadian Rocky Mountains road trip video, which you saw me edit earlier on in this video. However, I've also just picked up a Canon waterproof camera, which I'd really love to test out. And we're having a lot of rain these days, so I'm thinking of taking a walk through the city of Copenhagen and just making a really relaxing video. If you have any preference as to which video you'd like to see, just leave a comment and I'll be sure to release that next. Otherwise, that's it for now, and thanks for watching.